Hi, I'm back with another video about why nature is so great for your creativity and some things you can do to really maximize those benefits. I imagine you might have heard about Shinrin-yoku. That's the quote-unquote forest bathing the Japanese started prescribing as a remedy for depression, distraction, and other aches and pains in the 1980s. So what is that then? Well, it's the art of really being in the forest, taking in nature with all of our senses. Doing that, of course, is when you really realize the benefits. It can stimulate your senses and calm the nervous system. In essence, it makes you feel good. The Japanese approach to forest bathing is, by definition and geography, deeply non-Western in its philosophy. It's less about results and more about interconnectedness, being present and receiving. And here are some of the ways that a forest bathing guide or you yourself might introduce this to your senses. So they might invite you to really listen or to touch and to feel and so on while you're in the forest. And the other thing that's really important, another cornerstone of this for the Japanese is that letting go of striving for something, you know, to really let the forest bathe you. And by allowing yourself to really feel that you're part of nature, not a separate visitor. In both Eastern philosophy and modern science, it's clear that spending time in nature increases both vitality and creativity. While life force, often called chi in Japanese, might be difficult to measure by modern science, there are some powerful indirect correlations. When it comes to life force and vitality, science has found that forest bathing improves the vagus nerve function, which is linked to vitality and resilience. It also enhances natural killer cell activity, which keeps the body energized and disease at bay. Science has also found that forest bathing reduces mental fatigue, which many Eastern traditions view as a life force leak. Japanese Zen and Taoist traditions seem to see stillness in nature as the source of true creative flow. And that creativity as a return to nature, as in receiving, and not in a forceful act of will. In essence, from the stillness, receptivity is born, and that increases our life force. And so our insight and creativity is born. And looking at this from a more scientific perspective, nature does give us a creativity boost. There are several studies from the US, I think, that I'm looking here now, the University of Utah, showing that spending time in nature increases your creativity problem solving abilities by 50%. That's after spending just 3 days in nature and, of course, leaving your digital devices and screens at home. There's also study evidence that shows that forest environments help activate the default mode network, which is the part of our brain that's more active when we're at rest. The brain's creative, introspective space. So there you have it. Researching this video actually gave me more meat on my bones, so to speak, to what I already know instinctively is true about spending time in nature, because I know that it brings out my best ideas by just being there in the flow and just in the awe of it all. It's just so beautiful. As I'm recording this, I'm looking at the trees outside my window, sort of playing with their leaves as if they're talking along a little bit. I was thinking about putting this video together because I have an upcoming secret podcast um, in which we are kind of going to force bathe you and your content, is the idea. Because as you now know, uh, spending time in nature really does increase your creative flow. And I'm creating this especially as a bonus for my business mentor program, Business by Design. And I'm creating this bonus. It has a lot of other stuff in it as well, but for the intents and purposes of this video, I'm just talking about the forest bathing and the secret podcast where we're going to really help you create brilliant content. And if you want to find out more about this, I'm putting a link in the description below this video, and that's going to take you to the page where you can see all the bonuses. I'm calling it the Aligned Creators bonus that I'm putting together for this program. And but you've got to hurry because I think we've got about 18 hours left until that container closes. But that's not to say that we can't continue this conversation and have lots of other creative programs that you can participate in. So thanks for listening and see you soon. I think now is a good time for a walk in the forest.